we're going to talk about 4 main things that are going to make all the difference to your molded embellishments. Let's go. The first one that we need to talk about is using a mold like this. It's got no design and no texture in it. You need to roll your clay. If you roll your clay like into a ball and get it super smooth before you put it in there, chances are when you unmold that, you're going to have a really nice, smooth top. This is a macaron, so we want the tops of the macaron super smooth. Now, I added a little extra clay there and I rolled it into a ball, and I really didn't need to do that. But the next thing is we are going to flatten the clay to the top of the mold. And to do that, you use the heel of your hand, press it down and work your way to the edge that you're sort of making a ridge like that. And then you get your palette knife and you can cut that excess off. That's how you know you've got enough clay in that mold. It has to be flat. You can flip your mold over and press it down onto the table. Make sure it's flat. If it's popping out and you're losing your shape, you've still got too much clay, you need to take some more out. See how neat that is? Now, we don't like that. Good thing is, though, we know that's the perfect amount of clay. Just give it a little bit of a roll, pop it back in, and redo it. Bob's your uncle, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, this is the big cookie mold. Now, another tip. And I didn't include that in the 4, but I used a little bit of clay just to wipe around the outside of that mold because it had a little bit of dirt on it, a little bit of glitter. We needed to take it off because it'll get stuck on our cookie, and we don't want that. So again, taking off that excess, flattening that clay down, putting it on the table, beautiful fit. Perfect. Here we go with the 2 little molds that I said makes beautiful centers for that macaron mold. Now, one thing you'll notice me doing, and this is tip number 3, is I drag the clay back into the middle of the mold so that you see a very clear outline. You watch this. Pop that in, take off the excess. See that? Bring the clay back in so I see the really neat outline. The clay is flat on the mold. That means when you turn that out, you're going to get an absolutely beautiful, look at that, it's so gorgeous, beautiful shape. That's a key. Here we go with a little macaron, same process. It's always the same. You're rolling your clay, you're flattening it level with the mold. You drag the clay back in so that you can see that beautiful shape. See that? Give it a little tiny flick. You watch the next one. When it's a little intricate, see that I'm just feeling that mold to say which one of those did I actually put the oil in. And that's the other thing. See my toothbrush there? We've talked about this in a previous video. We're using the toothbrush to get that oil into those molds, flattening it out, bringing the clay back in. Now you watch this. Give it a little tiny flick with the finger. Yep, just to help pop that out. Perfect, right? Now this is the shallowest of the molds, and these can be so frustrating because they pop back out. Keep persevering with this leaf mold. It is a good mold, and use the heel of the hand too. That definitely does help. But see how great the shape is when you pull that clay back in. Now, this is one of the molds that I said to you in that previous video to stay away from because it is deep. The outside sort of comes over the shape and it's then very hard to pop out. You watch as you try and pull the mold away from the clay, you're using your bottom finger to push it through. It gets all misshapen. Yeah, no. Watch this. That has been in the freezer well and truly overnight. Big piece of clay. Doing the same thing, just pulling it away. That clay is not solid because it's dry. It's hard because it's frozen.